Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing my September TBR. Before I get started, if you're new to this channel, hi, hello, I'm Stephanie and I do a lot of bookish content. This month will be quite interesting because I'm doing my regular TBR, but I'm also going to be doing the magical readathon. I swear it usually used to be in August, but I think this year she moved it to September for whatever reason. I don't know. I feel like last year was also like this, so I don't know if it's like a September thing now or if it's like a one-off situation. I have no idea, but I will include all the information down below in case you want to join us. But it is a month-long readathon and I'll be going through the books I want to read for that at the end of this video. So let's start off with my regular TBR. So as always, I have my wheelhouse over here. Let's just spin it real quick. Alright, so it is book of the month pick, which is great because I have quite a lot of those that I need to get through. I have a whole shelf dedicated for that, so let me look through that and I'll be right back. Alright, for my book of the month pick, I'm going to go with Oathbound by Tracy Dion. I'm pretty sure I had this in my one of my previous TBRs. I have not gotten to it yet. It's just kind of a chunker, so I'm a little bit dreading it just because I do remember the second book to be a bit on the slow side, but I'm really hoping it picks up in this third book. However, it's not the last book in the series. There is one more book after that. I don't know when that will come out though, but this is the book that I'll be picking for this prompt. For those who don't know, this is a gender bender retelling of Arthurian. So it's all about like King Arthur, the Camelot, etc. But it's like a gender bender version and it's set in modern day. Prompt number 2. LGBTQ plus main character. Okay. That should be simple enough. I feel like I definitely have a lot of those. For the LGBTQ plus one, I'm going to go with Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas. This is a queer romance, so that's all I know. It follows two characters, one who is a 17-year-old trans son of the goddess of birds, and then it also follows another character called Shio, who is the child of the god of bad luck. And obviously there's a romance between the two of them, so we'll see how this one goes, but I've heard good things about this book in general. Prompt number 3. Book set in a small town. That is oddly specific. I need to do some sleuthing for that one. For the small town vibes, I'm gonna go with The Impossibility of Us by Katie Upperman. This is a book I've been trying to read for so long now. It's been on my TBR for, I don't know, since before 2018, because this is an arc that I got. So this book is about a girl, her name is Elise, whose last thing she wants to do is start over in a new town. But after her brother's death in Afghanistan and her and her mother moved to a sleepy coastal village to be closer to Elise's sister-in-law and niece. So obviously small town vibes. There's a romance in here. It looks really cute. This one has been on my TBR because I can't get the audiobook. I don't think at this time there were that many audiobooks out, so I need to read this physically. So we'll see this month. Now we're on prompt number 4. All right, book of the month pick. So I'm going to ignore that because I can't have 2 dupe prompts. So let me re-roll prompt number 4. Oh my god, I showed up again. This is what happens when you don't have like that many anymore. So let me re-roll prompt number 4. Book with a one-word title. Okay, let me look for some stuff. For the one word, I am going to go with Rule by Ellen Goodlett. This is an arc that I got years ago. This is for 2018, so I probably got this when I got the Impossibility of Us arc. It says 3 dark crowns meet Pretty Little Liars with a dash of King Lear and is a new fantasy debut. It follows Zophie, Ren, and Akale, where each girl hides a dangerous secret, the kind that can get you killed for treason. So we'll see how this one goes, but this was really popular when it came out, so I'm really excited. All right, here we are on the final prompt. Amazing. POC representation. So I do have a lot there. For the POC representation, I'm gonna go with Five Broken Blades by Mai Corlin. This is written by a Korean American author. It definitely has some sort of like Korean inspired fantasy elements to it. It says, the king of Yusan must die. 5 most dangerous lives in the world have been mysteriously summoned to work together for a single objective, to kill the god King June. And each of these 5 blades will come for him. From the hired hitman seeking atonement, a lovely assassin who seeks freedom, or even the prince banished for his cruel crimes. They can agree on murder, they can agree on treachery, but they'll have to find a way to trust each other. I don't know, but this looks so good. I've heard really good things. I also have the Goldsboro edition, so the sides are so pretty. I love that. So these are my 5 books I'll be reading for my TBR for the month of September. I do have to also do my TBR jar, but I'm only going to pick one this time because I feel like I do have a pretty hefty TBR plus my magical readathon one. So let me just pick one and hopefully it's a good one. All right, it says Midnight Feast. So this is a book that I have actually already read. So let me pick another one. If it's another one that I read, then I am going to forgo this one. Jade and Dragon. So this is actually another book that I read already a while ago. So kudos for me for actually getting some of these books read before I actually got to them. But you know, this means that we're moving on to the second half of this video, which is the magical readathon. So as always, I am doing the Beastmaster. I feel like at this point I am just expert level because I do this every single year for how many years now, I don't even know. So this does follow like the owl side of things. So there is O, D, and Q, and that means that depending on the prompts or like the curriculum, if you have like an O, then you do 1. If you have a Q, then you do 2 of them, and if you have D, then you have to do 3 of them. So that's kind of how it works. So I have to do an O in elemental studies, which means I have to read a book that has water on the cover. For this one, I'm gonna go with Steel Tide by Natalie C. Parker, which means I do need to read the first book, Sea Fire, because I have not read this one yet. And this one's like very interesting because they have very different cover styles, but they're both arcs that I got from, I think, BookCon ages ago back in New York. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. As you can tell, I'm trying to really go through some of my older TBRs right now because I feel like I have so many and I just want to get those like out of the way. So yeah, these are the 2 books that we read just because I want to read this book mostly, but I do need to read this one before I read this one. The next one over here is D in animal studies. So I need to read 3 books. The first one is a debut book. Then I have to read a sequel and then a last in a series. So for the debut book, I'm going to go with Rule by Ellen Goodlett. This is a fantasy debut, as I said earlier. And then for the series, I'm going to go with the series, which is Rise by Ellen Goodlett. This is the duology series. And these are the first 2 books I'm going to be reading. For the last in this series, I'm going to go with Oathbound because it doesn't have to be the last book in the series. It can be the last book that is out right now. And this is the last book that's out currently. The 4th book, I don't know when that'll be out. Maybe next year, perhaps. But these are the 3 books I'll be reading for this study. Then I have to read an O in Alchemy, which means sun on the cover. This one was actually really hard. I looked through all of my shelves. I just see like kind of like inklings of like sun in the sky, but I don't actually see the sun. So I'm going to cheat a little bit here and do a book with sun on the title instead. So I'm going to go with the Sunbearer Trials because like I just see like this here, which kind of is supposed to be like the sun, but it's like a skull, so it's not a sun. And I see like the little thing with the little rays, which also supposed to be like a sun. Obviously not a sun, but it does have a sun in the title, so I'm gonna go with that instead. Then the last curriculum I have to do is a Q and restoration. So I have 2 books I need to read. The first one is to read a book with a single POV, and the second book is where I have to generate a random country 5 times, or like times 5, and then read a book from there depending on the country. So for the single POV, I'm gonna go with The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. This one is by Michelle Hodkin. This is a book that I've been trying to read for a long time. I read the first book ages ago. I loved it, and then I think I read the second book, but then the 3rd book didn't come out yet, and then I got distracted, and now I kind of want to go back and reread the series so I can actually get to the ending. Because there is one that's like Noah Shaw series, that's like a spin-off series, and I really want to read that one. So I kind of want to finish this one first if I can tackle that one, but this is the one I want to read for this prompt. All right, so I have to generate a random country, 5 random countries. Let me look. You know what, I'm gonna use ChatGPT. Like, that's the whole point of ChatGPT, right? It's like to do these random generators. All right, generate 5 different countries. All right, so as you can see here, generate 5 different countries. And let's see what it says. I actually never done it before. Japan, Brazil, Egypt, Canada, and South Africa. Okay, now let me go and do a random generator based off of this. All right, so I'm gonna do my little wheel thing again. Oh, perfect, Japan. I have so many books that fit that. I just need to find one first. I'm actually gonna go for a book that I got from ALA, which by the way, I will link the book haul video above and down below if you want to check that out. But I'm gonna pick Temple Alley Summer. It is by Sachiko Kashiwaba. It's illustrated by Miho Satake and it was translated from Japanese to English. So this is the book. I don't know where it's set exactly in Japan, I just know set in Japan. It says, one rainy night, Kazu sees a strange figure in a white kimono sneak out of his house. Was he dreaming? Did he see a ghost? The next day, the very same person sitting in his class and all of his friends are convinced that this ghost girl, Akari, has been their friend for years. If that isn't weird enough, Kazu learns that his house is in the exact location of an ancient temple called Kimyo, which legend has it could bring the dead back to life. Now he seeks out to discover what happened to Kimyo Temple and if the rumors of its power are true. His investigation draws the unwanted attention of his shifty neighbor, Miss Minakami, and his secretive new classmate Akari, who definitely is not what she seems. Now Kazu and Akari must join forces to find and protect the source of the temple's power before it's too late. Definitely set in Japan. It's supposed to be reminiscent of Studio Ghibli, which I adore. So very excited about this one. So this month I have quite a hefty stack, which is kind of intimidating. But these are all the books I'll be reading for the month of September. It is massive. I hope I get to all of these. I think some of these will be easier said than done just because I don't think I have audiobooks for some of these, especially because some of the older ones, but we'll see. I'm like excited for some of these because some of them have been on my TBR for God knows how long, so I definitely want to read these before it's too late. So yeah, these are all the books I want to read for the month of September. What are you guys planning to read? If you have read any of these books before, what do you suggest I pick up first? And if you are joining us for the readathon, let me know down below as well. What are you planning to read for the readathon? But as always, if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. It really help on my channel. And if you see more content of me, please don't hesitate to subscribe below as well as the notification bell. And as always, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!